Back once again. This tutorial I'm just going to quickly look at kicks and snares and trying to get them to sit in sort of dance music. This is only really my interpretation. It's certainly not this is how you should do it, this is correct, this is just how I'm doing it now. And of course our approaches and our techniques and our thoughts behind things change as we learn, so this is just where I'm at right now. This isn't necessarily the be all and end all. And also in my sort of music production duo, when we make tunes, I'm not really the techie person, so this is just me on my own, just trying to find ways to improve the sounds. So we've got the same project as before, which is here we are. So yeah, you've all heard that. You're probably as bored of it as I am now. So okay, let's jump straight in. So we've got the kick here. In sort of dance music, obviously quite bass influenced as well. We want the kick to probably sit around 100 Hertz on the frequency spectrum. Now this new version of Cubase is quite cool because we have a spectrum analyzer behind there, so you can see on the EQ. Now this kick is particularly weighty and subby. It sits around 50 Hertz, which if you had a sub would clash in terms of frequency wise, because your sub's probably going to be between, I don't know, 30 and 100. So that frequency range there wants to really be left for the sub ideally. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to roll off some of the lower end there. Like I say, it's just a quick one just to give you an idea, and then I'm going to boost frequencies. I did look at 100, just around there, but I didn't think that sounded particularly great. I thought it made the kick sound a bit thin. This is only for this one, so I'm just going to roll this back down to around 80. That's where I thought it sounded probably best, around there. It's got the punch, it's thinner than it was, but it's not too thin. So perhaps this kick, if it was with a bass, a sub bass, if you used a sidechain just to duck some of the sub out, that might help stop sort of conflicting frequencies and maybe peaking and stuff. Also as well, I've got this envelope shaper on there. Hasn't made a massive amount of difference, but what we can do is we can slightly manipulate the attack, sustain, delay and release. So I've just turned down the release there, just to make it as shorter, so you can hear that's quite boomy there. I've made it as short and sharp as possible, once again only because that's my preference. So for sort of dubstep and drum and bass and stuff, I like a real short, sharp, abrupt kick that just comes through, punches in and then comes back out again. Nothing too sort of thuddy or rumbly or thumpy or anything like that. So I've also done the same with the snare as well. The snare, you can see the snare is peaking just above 200 Hertz there. So I've jumped in and rolled off some of the lows. Once again, probably even too much, I don't know. Let's just turn this on. Wrong one. One of these I've activated to boost. There you go. So it's just really enhancing those frequencies already. There you go. I'm not talking. I'm letting you listen to it. So yeah, I thought that sounded better from what I can hear anyway. Okay, maybe it's a bit too much. I mean, we can tweak that. It's not a problem. There we go. Everything in moderation. So same thing again. The envelope shaper. Let's just turn that on. And once again, for me, I like to turn everything down rather than having a long one there. Mind you, it is actually quite flat. Actually, listening to it. There you go. Got a bit of the raspiness at the end there, if that's the right terminology. The shimmer. Okay, so for now that is pretty much it. So typically we'll be boosting our kicks around the 100 and rolling them off, and with the snares once again roll off some of the lower end, some of the rumble that you don't really need, and then we'll be boosting around the 200 mark. I've used the envelope shapers just to roll off some of the release to make them nice and short and sharp. And that's it. I hope that's been of help.